The world history you were taught in school. Egypt, Rome, Greece, the Mughals, the British. Have you ever wondered, is that the whole story? Or is it just the part they wanted you to see? From the 1500s to the 1800s, on every major map of the world, there was one empire, so massive that Europe, Russia, and China all looked tiny in comparison. Its name was Tartaria. And then, one day, it vanished. No war, no declaration, just gone. Today's question is, who erased this history and why? Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to do a complete post-mortem of Tartaria. Who were they? What was their secret? And the biggest question of all, who hid them? If you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell icon, because this video isn't just about today. It's a journey that will change the way you think. Let's begin, straight with the evidence. This is a map from the year 1570. It was created by Abraham Ortelius. He was the greatest cartographer, map maker of his time. On this map, it is clearly written, Tartaria Magna, meaning Great Tartaria. Now, look at its size. This empire was 5 times bigger than Europe, stretching from Siberia to China, from the Caspian Sea to the Arctic Ocean. A massive empire, existing right there on the maps, plain to see. And it wasn't just Ortelius. 1600, Guillaume de Lisle's map, Tartaria, is there. 1700, Johann Homann's map, Tartaria is there. 1730, French royal maps, Tartaria is there. 1750, British Encyclopedia, Tartaria is there. But then, by the late 1800s, it was gone. No farewell, no war, no announcement. Simply, it was there one day and gone the next. Tell me, how does someone just forget an entire empire like that? Now let's come to the second piece of evidence. And this evidence is still standing today. It can be seen with your own eyes. These are buildings from the 1800s in Russia, France, and America. Looking at them raises a question. Today, in 2026, we have cranes, machines, computers, and even then, building such complex structures is incredibly difficult. So in the 1800s, when there was no electricity, no cranes, no cement mixers, how were these buildings made? The Chicago World's Fair, 1893. Over 200 massive buildings built in just 2 years. Architectural historians say, even today reproducing this feat is impossible. So were these buildings already there? Was the World's Fair just an illusion, a show, just to display their own stolen property? And then the fair ended and all the buildings were demolished. Why? Why destroy buildings that cost billions to make? A direct question. Was there something to hide beneath these buildings? Now let's get to the real question. The people of Tartaria, who were they? And what did they have that is being hidden from US today? Mainstream history says they were Mongol and Turkic tribes, nomads, forest dwellers. But for just a second, let's go back to those maps. Nomads do not build cities. Nomads do not keep archives. Nomads do not stay on global maps for hundreds of years. There was something else here. Something that was incredibly powerful. So powerful that the most dominant forces in the world conspired to erase it. And who erased it? This is where the real story begins. Now we launch our investigation. And in this investigation, there are 3 main suspects. Suspect number 1, the Russian Empire. From the 1600s to the 1800s, Russia began expanding towards Siberia, and the territories of Tartaria, one by one, fell under Russian control. When you conquer a land, you erase its original history. You rewrite your own history in its place. That is exactly what Russia did. They erased the names of Tartaria. In its place, they wrote Siberia, Turkestan, Caucasus. But can simply changing names erase an entire civilization? Suspect number 2, the colonial powers, Britain and France. In the 19th century, when the map of the world was in their hands to draw, they decided who would write history. Universities in Oxford, Cambridge, and Paris. They wrote the encyclopedias. They made the atlases. They printed the textbooks. And in all of these, Tartaria slowly faded out, simply because acknowledging a massive, powerful civilization would have destroyed their white man's burden narrative. If Tartaria existed, then they were advanced. If they were advanced, then there was no need to civilize them. And if there was no need to civilize them, there was no justification to colonize them. This wasn't the first time. The Library of Baghdad, 800,000 books, burned by the Mongols. Nalanda University, 9 million books, burned to the ground. Erasing history is an ancient tradition of the powerful. Suspect number 3 is the most controversial, and I'll tell you straight up, there is no hard proof for this. It is a theory, but it's worth thinking about. In Tartaria, it is claimed there was free energy, technology like Nikola Tesla's, towers that generated electricity from the air, buildings that had their own built-in heating and cooling systems. And Tesla, when he discovered free energy, who stopped him? J.P. Morgan, America's biggest banker. He cut off Tesla's funding. Tesla's lab caught fire. Tesla died, a penniless man, having lost the rights to his own patents. Was this just a coincidence? Or do the people who control the business of energy simply not want free energy to exist? And if Tartaria already had free energy, then those people would want to erase the history of Tartaria, so that no one would ever ask what came before. All of this is just a theory, but theories are born when questions are left unanswered. Now I want to be completely honest with you. What do mainstream historians have to say? They say Tartaria was never a unified empire. It was just a label used by European cartographers for regions that they didn't know much about. And when knowledge expanded, this vague label was removed. No cover-up, just a better understanding. And this point is absolutely true. I don't deny it. But beyond the maps, there are other questions. The buildings, the architecture, the technological claims. And those questions have still not been fully answered. That is why today's video is not a claim. It is a question. And asking questions is every human's right. And now, something that relates directly to you and me. In Pakistan, there are buildings even today about which official history is completely silent. The Lahore Fort. Officially, it said the Mughals built it. But inside the fort, there are underground levels that have never officially been opened. Mohenjo-daro, 4,500 years old, with a plumbing system better than what we have today. Taxila was a university back when Europe was still in the Dark Ages. Are these part of that same grand story? Did Tartaria have a connection with this very land? We will make a separate video on this topic. If you think this video taught you something new, do one thing, hit that like button, because this one tiny button keeps this channel alive. And subscribe, so the next video comes straight to you. Tell me in the comments, who do you think erased Tartaria? I read comments all day. I will definitely reply to yours. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next history.